I'm Denella Ri'chard. I've made a career traveling the world. I've worked for some of the biggest names in travel, and now I've traded in my business suit for a swimsuit. Swimming with the sharks, swinging at the edge of the world, throwing back a few shots, or shall I say spirits. Woo. Eating some of the best cuisine, and even making a few furry friends along the way. I invite you to come along with me and discover the world. This week I'm in Montgomery, Alabama, the city where there's too much to do to just drive through. It's known for its array of outdoor entertainment, sports, and cultural activities. And don't forget the finger-licking cuisine. So come along with me to Montgomery, Alabama.
Denella, welcome to the Riverfront Amphitheater, where we have tons of things to do. We have the Harriet, the Sip and Cycle, Red Bluff, the Biscuit Stadium, and of course the Riverwalk. We have tons of events.
Oh my gosh, I hear you have some great concerts this weekend.
Oh, absolutely.
Hey, can I get VIP?
Oh, let's go.
I'm going to make a quick stop at the Montgomery Visitor Center to find out about things to do while I'm here.
Hello and welcome to the Montgomery Visitor Center. My name is Hannah Latimer and I'm the manager of this facility, and myself and my team would be thrilled to tell you not only about the incredibly influential history that is right out our front door, but also the incredible bars, attractions, restaurants to come see in this area. So y'all come by and see us. We'll be happy to show you around and greet you.
Ron, it's indeed a pleasure to have the opportunity to sit down and talk to you about the amazing things that are happening in tourism in Montgomery.
Well, thank you for coming. Welcome to Montgomery, Alabama, Denella.
Well, thank you. When, I grew up over in that neighboring state of Louisiana, and we always just passed through Montgomery on the way to Florida.
Too much to do just to drive through.
I see. And when I think of Montgomery, I also think about, history. I think about names like King and Parks and Abernathy.
Right.
So in addition to history, tell me more about the things to do here in Montgomery these days.
Well, the history is critical. It's very important. As a matter of fact, it's a part of almost everything that happens. But the history is going to lead us into a lot of other things there is to do, such as food, whitewater rafting.
Whitewater rafting.
Whitewater kayaking.
Wow.
As a matter of fact, you're less than a mile from the most technologically advanced whitewater facility in the world, right here in Montgomery, Alabama.
Well, how big is this space?
It's actually over 40 acres.
Wow.
And it will continue to expand with zip lining, off-road bicycle trails, paddleboarding. But right now, you can bring an entire family, whether you get in the water or not. There are beer gardens.
Oh.
There's space for live entertainment, live bands. They're having it tonight.
Okay.
There's a place for over 300 people for the restaurant. You can just go grab a beer, grab a sandwich, take your family, walk your dog, and watch those folks kayak, whether you're a beginner or whether you're professional.
Okay. Well, when I was checking into my hotel, there are a lot of people in the city right now. You guys have a lot going on, like
Are there conferences, conventions? What's happening?
You actually checked in on the world's largest, or the United States' largest conference for the Air Force, known as DAFITC, Department of the Air Force Information Technology and Cyber Conference, where men and women in uniform and technology companies such as Microsoft are here and others. They're convening for 4 days to talk about how do they better defend this country in cyber and in space and technology.
Wow.
Happening right here, over 5,400 people right here. But not just them, there are other events going on at the same time, such as HBCU Weekend. Huge weekend that you will have an opportunity to experience. One city, 2 classics in 2 days.
All right. And of course, I think you know, I went to an HBCU.
I know.
Yes,
I know. Yeah. So we will be playing your HBCU. I had an opportunity to go to, I went to Alabama State and I went to Auburn Montgomery as well.
Okay.
Alabama State University will be playing your Southern University. Absolutely.
All right.
Hey, my name is Dave Hepp. I'm the CEO of Montgomery Whitewater. Welcome to Montgomery. This is the latest outdoor adventure park that's been built here. We just finished construction July of 2023. And essentially at the heart of this park is a 2-channel massive artificial whitewater system. You can see behind me a decent sized drop here. We are basically pulling about 12 million gallons of water uphill and we drop it off 22 feet later. We do have a full service restaurant and bar, so you can come out, hang out, have a beer, enjoy the weather, enjoy the sunset, watch rafters go by. So we're just getting started and we're super psyched to get the project up and off the ground and for folks to come and visit Montgomery and enjoy the Whitewater Center.
Right now, I'm at Montgomery Whitewater with Mike, and we're about to hit the rapids. Now, Mike, you promised not to dump me out of the boat, right?
Yes, I will do my best.
Who knew that Montgomery has all of this? Right now, I'm at Montgomery Whitewater, and oh my gosh, it is a blast! I can't contain my excitement. My guide's right beside me, and together, we're ready to take on the wild Montgomery water. Montgomery Whitewater is the place to be. I worked up quite an appetite, and the fish tacos from Eddie's, oh my God, they're perfect.
Hey Denella, I'm Richard. Welcome to Montgomery.
So nice to meet you. So I hear that you are the man with all the knowledge about the world-changing history that happened here.
Yes, ma'am. Montgomery is the heart of the civil rights movement, but we have so much other history as well. Starting here at the Riverfront. There's so much history that begins here. The Native Americans were some of the first people to come into Alabama thousands of years ago, and Montgomery was here at the center. They would come up the Alabama River, and not only them, but by the time we get into the 1800s, you would also see gigantic populations of African American people coming up that river as well. And of course, these people would have been enslaved. So Montgomery has a rich history from beginning all the way up to the civil rights movement.
Wow, well, let's keep it moving.
All right. So, Denella, you probably know who this woman is.
Absolutely, Miss Rosa Parks.
Yes, ma'am. So Rosa Parks is really important to the history of Montgomery, but also to the nation of America. So right here, across from that fountain, Rosa Parks on December 1st, 1955, gets on a bus, and when she gets on that bus, she refuses to give up her seat. Here in Montgomery, there was a city ordinance that black people had to sit in the back of the bus. And if that bus was full and a white person got on the bus, it was up to one of those black people to have to give up their seat. Well, a white man gets on the bus and approaches Rosa Parks and asks her to give up her seat, and of course, she says no.
Absolutely.
And she says it again, and then she's arrested. And that's why this statue is here, to commemorate that moment.
Absolutely.
Also, what most people don't know is that it was black women that were really important to the civil rights movement, because there was a group called the Women's Political Council in 1955 that started holding small boycotts of Montgomery buses all the way up until Rosa Parks on December 1st. So you probably heard of a woman named Claudette Colvin.
Absolutely.
You probably heard of another woman named Susie McDonald. And those women really served and really showed the men of the community that this boycott and that this pressure was needed to make change happen for black citizens.
And thank you for recognizing those women. Because so many times we talked about, Dr. King, or we talk about Abernathy, or we talk about John Lewis, but sometimes we forget to recognize those leading ladies.
Yes, ma'am.
Absolutely, thank you for that.
You're welcome.
Hello, Denella. Welcome to Montgomery, Alabama. We're now here at Tours of Montgomery. We're actually at the corner of High and Jackson. And the significance of this intersection and High and Jackson is this is where a lot of things happen regarding the bus boycott. Most people come to Montgomery to learn about the bus boycott. So if they come to the corner of High and Jackson, this is the place to learn anything they want to know about the meetings, about what Dr. Martin Luther King did, and things of that nature. So we're so proud of this corner, and I'm right here to give you a gracious tour of Montgomery, Alabama.
So Valerie, tell me a little bit more about the bus boycott and what was happening here in Montgomery then when Dr. King came.
Well, when Dr. King came, the bus boycott was just at its highest peak, because people had really gotten, just sick and tired of the shenanigans of having to pay their money up front and sit on the back of the bus. So that's why here Rosa Parks said, nah, I'm not getting up off the bus today. I'm not moving. So then things just started to escalate. But that's when they came up here to this intersection and started having those meetings that led us to Montgomery being labeled as the birthplace of civil rights.
So tell me, who stood with Dr. King in March that day?
We had Ralph Abernathy and we had the famous John Lewis.
Ah, good trouble.
Good trouble. John Lewis said that if I'm gonna get in trouble, let's get in good trouble. So his headquarters was right over here across the street.
Wow.
And so he came out of there and met up with Dr. Martin Luther King. And you probably have seen the picture of him. They're all marching arm
Yes,
in arm,
yes,
arm in arm,
yes.
showing unity.
Yes.
Well, that started right here at this intersection.
There's a lot that happened in this neighborhood. Now, did Dr. King also live here?
Yes, Dr. King lived right here. He lived actually right down the sidewalk here.
Oh, let's go. I want to see that.
Yeah, he lived there from 1954 to 1960.
Okay, all right. Show me where that is. I want to see it.
Go. Hey, Denella, we're now here at the home of Dr. Martin Luther King. I was telling you earlier that he lived here in Centennial Hill, and he lived here at this home from 1954 until 1960. Yes, so there was a lot of history that took place here at this home. The address here is 309 South Jackson Street, and this is the home of so much significance because this is the home that was bombed.
Oh,
He
wow.
was given 3 days to leave Montgomery with his family, and they threw a bomb and it hit the side of the house, and Coretta and her best friend were in the house, but by the grace of God, no one was hurt.
Wow.
So this is the house of significance where he talks about going in the kitchen, making that pot of coffee, and making that decision that he's going to stay right here in Montgomery, Alabama, and fight for civil rights.
Wow, how important it is. I mean, it's just amazing for me to be able to stand here at 309 Jackson Street, is it?
309 South Jackson.
309 South Jackson, just to see where so much of civil rights history started and took place.
Yes, and while we're here and at this close point, right across the street here at that corner is where the very first bus ride was taken. So anybody who travels to Montgomery, Alabama will be in for a treat because so much happened here and you don't have to ride, for miles and miles. It's all compacted right here in Centennial Hill.
Right.
My name is Michelle Browder. I am the creator of the Mothers of Gynecology Monument here in Montgomery, Alabama. I created this monument to honor 3 enslaved girls that were used as experimentation and also really were used as a breakthrough in medicine. So we are here to amplify those voices in maternal health and what's happening right now today. So come see us in Montgomery, Alabama.
Dr. Robinson, thank you so much for meeting up with me here at Alabama State University. Now, I know there were some pivotal defining moments that started here on this campus. Tell me about some of those.
Clearly, you could argue that the civil rights movement, as we know it in the United States, had its origins in Montgomery with the Montgomery Bus Boycott. And the Montgomery Bus Boycott, after the arrest of Rosa Parks, had its origins here on this campus. And so women with the Women's Political Council, particularly Professor Joanne Robinson, ran off flyers announcing a bus boycott. But people don't know or don't really focus on is how pivotal the students were in that campaign. And so student activists with the Student Nonviolent Coordinating Committee organized students at Tuskegee, students at Alabama State, really organized students from all over the nation. So you had thousands of students all over the nation either descend on Montgomery. 4,000 students came to Montgomery. Go to Washington, D.C. at the direction of SNCC. About 14,000 students went to Washington, D.C. and protested. And then you had protests sprout up all over the nation, all coordinated by students. And so this facility tells that story, tells the story of young people, not only college students, but high school students who participated in this movement to secure the right to vote for all Americans.
Right, and tell me the exact name of where we are again.
So we're on the National Historic Trail, for the Selma to Montgomery March. And we're at the Montgomery Interpretive Center. That's along this 54-mile trail from Selma through Lowndes County and terminates in Montgomery. And so there are 3 interpretive centers, one in Selma, one in Lowndes County, and one in Montgomery. So the Montgomery Interpretive Center is on the campus of Alabama State University.
Yes, and Alabama State University is a historically Black college and university, right?
Certainly.
Absolutely. Well, I know a little bit about that because, I went to Southern University.
I understand. I understand.
For the best Latin food in Montgomery, check out D Road Café. Dive into a world of flavor featuring Venezuelan Latin, breakfast, lunch, and dinners. I'm talking mouth-watering dishes like arepas, empanadas, cachapas, Venezuelan street food, and other international cuisine. And an added benefit is healthy too. JoZettie's Cupcakes has the best cupcakes in Montgomery at 1404 South Decatur Street. It's a family-owned business started by Miss Ida. There's so many delicious flavors to choose from, but my favorite is the red velvet. Trilogy Hotel, nestled in the heart of Montgomery's historic district. It's the city's premier destination for gatherings. The stylish accommodations feature rich textures, comfortable refinement, lofty ceilings, large windows, and I love the beautiful original artwork. I thoroughly enjoyed my stay at Trilogy Hotel.
It's a great time to be here in Montgomery. It is the HBCU Classic Weekend, and right now it's the Labor Day Classic. ASU versus SU. That's Alabama State University versus my alumni, Southern University. It's going down.
The gridiron becomes a stage for talent, tradition, and teamwork as the marching bands, cheerleaders, dancing dolls, and ASU's honeybees electrify the stadium. Well, ASU won this game, but you can guess who put on the best halftime show. I'm leaving Montgomery emotionally moved and grateful to the people who changed the world for the better. And they continue to do so today. You can feel the hospitality, passion, and love in everything here, from the food to the sports. And since Alabama State University beat my dear Southern, it's time for me to go, because I'm off to my next destination.
Travel the world with Denella Ri'chard. Travel the world with Denella Ri'chard. Travel the world with Denella Ri'chard. Travel the world with Denella Ri'chard.